I'm curious how you think about and define an entrepreneur. So, if that's maybe how you think about a business, what is an entrepreneur? Or maybe if you don't want to define it, how do you think about what it entails to be an entrepreneur?
I don't know that I'd be the best person to define an entrepreneur, but there's a couple thoughts that come to mind when you share that with me. The first one is that in the American society today that I've experienced, I don't think that we're really trained all that much to be entrepreneurs anymore. We're told to go to school and get a good grade and go to college and get a job and go take on some debt and pay down the debt and buy a house. And all of those things are amazing because they're a defined pathway that is quite certain. If you do those things, you're going to check your survival box. You're going to be okay. My survival box, my definition of what it looked like to survive was just a little bit different because I want to experience this lifetime. And entrepreneurship was a pathway for me to be able to survive financially, to be able to survive with my relationships by investing deeply into my relationships inside of my business and outside of my business. And those things ensured at a much greater level my survival than the certainty of a paycheck. And I can't emphasize enough, there was about a decade there or so where I wasn't really surviving financially. But had I compared my journey to any of my other peers, I would have never traded it because I was thriving as a vibrant human. I was alive. I was experiencing, consuming this thing we called life. And being an entrepreneur put me at the front seat of that roller coaster ride. And that's something I couldn't have traded. And it's also something that financially, I was very willing to sacrifice financial gain in those moments because I was much more motivated by those other sort of pillars or those other elements of our life. But being an entrepreneur is all about taking risk. And I think it's also all about asking yourself what's broken or where there's a problem in this life and where you see need. You get to be that inventor, as it were. I'm not smart enough to be an inventor. I'm not smart enough to be the mad scientist. I'm just smart enough to see something that is formless and see if I can cobble together a couple of ideas to turn it into something real. And in that sense, I've always wanted to be a builder, but I don't build with physical products all that much. I realize that I build with humans on these things that we call businesses. And so entrepreneurship for me is about taking a risk, and it's also about having to consume life fully.